Jen, I was approaching your yard and then noticing your your garden. I was like, I don't think I was paying attention because I guess we've always been, we were so focused on, you know, running back and forth, Re and Estelle, that you kept talking about your gardening, and unless, of course, you know, you had a flourish of gardening since, because my good, I remember there in your house lots of plants, but now I'm seeing this outdoor business. I don't think I noticed before. It is gorgeously lush. Hey, Annette and Aunt Madeline. Hey, listen, I think Jan, and this is Jan's. I don't even think she used to have a landscaper, but now I think she does all most of this herself. I think there's some base, but look at this loveliness. Talk about curb appeal. I don't even know what these different plants are called, but there's clearly a thoughtfulness to this combo. And those almost look like, God, I gotta get it wrong, hibiscus, but I could be wrong. No, I wonder if any of this is like things for teas or edible. I know there's all kinds of names for these kinds of plants. Look at this cacti looking ish things, but I don't think they're, I think that's cacti there. I think the cacti grows up inside it. But look at this. And then along here. And then up there. Those are cute. These are kind of almost like a bluish color. All right, just so you know, I don't think any of the other yards can compete with this. Look at this. And then look at these. I have to do a feature on the garden because I am like, it's just striking me this morning. I mean, I always sell the plants, right? This is a very Estelle moment I'm having. Look at these. Right? Listen, I guess, let's go through. All right, I'm doing a feature in your garden.
Yes. Okay, love you too. Bye.
Yeah, so there's more plants here. And that's the next door neighbor. Oh, this is just water. This is all. Anything back here? Oh, some plants are chilling out. They're getting some kind of effect, dealio. And back there, right? Yeah. So the point where some are even in plastic to, I guess, be nurtured to grow in a particular way. So yeah, guys, I am just seeing all this. And then there's some here. And then, so plants, and then I don't think this is open. Oh, it is. Ah, so in here there's more. Look at this. And Estelle, I wonder if she came and saw these plants. Jen, I hope she did see some of these plants because she'd have been impressed. You probably got advice from her. Look at this. Look at the plant situation. I don't think I've appreciated, Jan, that you were doing a gardening thing to the plants point where this is like it's like a hothouse. Like, what do they call those places where plants are inside? Thinking of the one at Allen Gardens. Something, it's not coming to me right now. But look at this. She's not joking. And then, of course, all the plant food. And this is a serious business. Look at this. And then here, and I love these little bottles which are germinating even more. And I guess, I don't know if these are to give other folks. John, you're like a horticulturalist. How you do it all? Like run a business, raise a child, be in a relationship, a marriage, and support all the people you do and the different things you do, and then have time to watch Netflix or anything else. My goodness, this is incredible. I guess at some point I should do a tour with her so she can name all her plants. Apple not fall far from tree. I don't know. I didn't get that genes. I think because I grew up in the country, in the rural area, and of course I have all kinds of emotional issues around living in the country and hating it. So I just never took to growing nothing. In fact, the one big plant I got was Fromantista, which is a beautiful rubber plant, which eventually was actually really good for a while, and then it died. I think I killed it, literally. So I'm appreciating that the Stewarts generally, coming from farming families, have continued it on. Me, not so much. Not at all, actually. There's not even one plant in my house at all. And of course, I'm not no yard for own gardening. Even though, the building maintenance, the building, whatever team, gardening team, it's fabulous. I could take you, I think I've shown you guys that on my videos. And so they do a great job and it looks fantastic, but not make anything to do with me. Okay, alrighty. So there it is, gardening. Let's see if she's there to have a conversation about her gardening prowess. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Not bad.
Good.
So this is the first time I'm noticing the garden, Jan. Like really noticing it. So I was like, that's why I started the video. I said, wait a minute. Why did I look at all this gardening stuff? And this is all, and the plants, this is all you, right?
It's all me.
And where does that come from, do you think?
I don't know. I think it started enjoying. We had a small number of plants in the home growing up, but the time and attention to caring for a plant and seeing it thrive and grow,
Right.
and just beautify the home. I really enjoy that. I like the experience of the greenery, the lusciousness, the nature inside the home.
Right.
Versus having, and I do like the thought of artwork and paintings, but for me, this is the art that comes in and beautifies my home.
Yeah.
I bring in and beautify my home, and different types of plants I really enjoy. You can see lots of greenery. I don't have a lot of flowering plants.
Right.
The green and the lusciousness of green, calming and yeah, just the beautifying of the space.
And evolving
Grounding.
over time, because I don't remember it always being so much
No.
stuff, right?
No, during COVID, I think was where many people
Yeah.
developed their hobby or love of plants and different types of plants, different species of plants. Some are hard to find and
Right.
hard to care for. I've learned some of the ones that are crazy hard to care for, let them die and don't replace them. Right. Right now, I'm in the middle, as you saw, there were plants in the jar.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of propagating some plants, so I need to bring them in from outside. So I'm spraying the ones that are outside on the front porch, the ones that are outside in the backyard, the house plants, tropical plants. I'm
Right.
spraying them, bringing them in because the person who will be caring for them can only come once a week, so they can't stay outside. So,
Right.
So yeah, so I'm in the process of that.
Right. And I noticed in the front, because is there a name for the kinds of plants that are there? Because I noticed it's all like very bushy, very, wildly growing. In the front, yeah.
It was mostly grasses.
Right.
But I worked with a landscape architect who chose grasses that would change in their presentation over the course of the season.
Right.
So some turn red and when they seed. Others have bushy seeds that come up on a stalk, right? So, and they knit together as they grow as well. So it's quite a lot. Actually, when we first put them in 2 years ago, there was lots of space. You could see the mulch, and it was, it was beautiful, and you could see each distinct plant. Now they're kind of starting to knit together. And in itself, it's its own new presentation on. I don't like a lot of flowers, although there's a lot of people who think see the importance of flowers for bees and pollination and supporting nature, but I just find it easier to care for.
Right,
Without. So, yeah.
Because every time you said you were in your garden, I'm realizing now you were like seriously in your garden. You weren't just like, oh, let me just water. And that's what I imagined. Oh, you're just watering your plants, whatever. But you were like in there, probably on your knees, digging, doing all the kind of like work.
And on the front porch, I like the coolness and the breeze there. A lot of those plants do well. Those tropical plants, they get indirect light. But also it's a nice, luscious place to sit and read a book or have a conversation or just relax, right? So I enjoy the front porch as well.
And it creates a certain environment, as you said, for relaxation, also a connection to nature. And of course, in my head, I'm thinking that a lot of the ways why a lot of, your mom and our aunts and uncles engage with farming is because, of course, their heritage, right? Growing up in a farming home, right? And and so how that keeps getting passed on. Because I think of Annette's, because of course when I was making the video, I said, okay, Annette and Aunt Madeline, because remember in the car we were saying, oh, okay. So here's some rivalry happening here because there's some amazing stuff, not rivalry really, but just adding to the range of how everybody in the family kind of does this thing. So it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yes, and in the house, as you can see, there's like dozens of plants as well. All in different states of
so you also have stuff upstairs. Do you do? I'm not going to go up there, but you do all over the house.
I have a wall of vining plants and like a bookcase, just cascading vining plants.
Oh my God!
Beautiful, with nice rare and some common vining plants as well.
So
in my bedroom, I have plants, and here in the living room.
So y'all, if you want to see that, we have to come visit. When you come visit, not going in those intimate spaces of her home to show. But as you can see already, you can just see the amount of foliage, just amazing, and the different types. And I just noticed, as you said, not flowery, but more greens, right?
I do have a couple of orchids, but I don't do well with orchids. They need a certain kind of attention. And those who are watching me have gifted me orchids. I try my best, but they need a certain kind of attention. I don't do well with giving them, but these ones I find I can manage well. And even still, with more attention, these could be lush, bigger, and fuller.
Really?
People use all kinds of, fertilizers and certain placement in light, stuff like that will also help with, and staking the plants will also help with growth.
Right.
I'm not quite into all of that yet. I might be, but I might get there, but not right now.
Hey, retirement, that's what that's for, right? Because, then you get all the gifts. And I was loving when you're going to your, gym, garage, kind of, it's like, I call it the hot house. It's like a space I kept thinking, there's another name for those kind of places. Greenhouse, that's probably what I was looking for. Because I was thinking of Allen Gardens I always used to go there in the winter. They have all those plants in there and rare plants. They have plants from the Caribbean, Jamaica, all that kind of stuff. So that's what it reminded me of walking in. I said, oh my God, it's like a house full of plants.
Well, Jonathan and Isaiah have asked me to keep the plants to the periphery so we can have the workout space.
Right.
Free, but you'll see also we store, because raccoons in the summer are crazy, loving, like all cushions and chairs and sofas and stuff. They love to nest in those, even if you're there and you're using your deck often. So it's also a place to store the cushions and stuff from the deck furniture in the summertime. So it's a bit crowded, but it works. The gym is great. Nice space to work out. I have no excuse not to work out. It's like 5 steps from the house, right? I'm in there almost every day.
There you are.
Great.
Yeah, I know you use it.
And then the plants just are my joy, my peace.
Clearly. Oh God, it's great. And then you have some more in here as well. Oh my God, it's like, oh, look at this. It's funny because I was just saying the only plant I ever had once was your mom gave me this huge rubber plant back in the day when I first moved into when I was on Tinder. And I managed it, and then eventually at some point, I think it was the winter, I left it out there and it just started to cry and it just never recovered. I probably should have consulted with her, but I felt so bad and guilty because she gave me this great plant and I basically destroyed the plant. But then since I don't have any plant, but you're inspiring me that I could get some plants and I can come to you for advice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to my mother's today to pick up a couple of her plants.
Uh-huh.
Look, I lost a leaf. too. This is my favorite. This is a Chinese money plant.
Okay.
But it does need to be staked because it's now growing a little out of.
Okay.
I should probably
So
stake
staked
it.
is to put the vine up on a
Yeah,
to
and
help
prop
it
it up,
grow
prop
up.
it up.
Right.
I could have had it growing, trained it to grow straight up, but I didn't
Right.
bother. Again, attention.
Ah. And that's an orchid plant,
Yeah,
right?
orchid, but no. I'm sure some of the viewers will have ideas on what I should be doing. They're going to say I should put it in the window, water it less, water it more. But yeah, it's there.
Oh, look at this one. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you know all the names of all these plants, right?
That's an Alocassia. Yes, I
Woo.
do. Yes.
And
So
these
there, that
ones.
plant.
And then look at this one. Oh, these are gorgeous. This reminds me, I never forgot being in Blue Mountains, Jamaica, and there's when you go, you're close to getting towards where we, start to walk for the peak, and there's I ran out of film at the time, but this huge wall of just ferns and these kinds of plants, like just gorgeous. And up there, and of course it thrives up there because the weather is so cool, the temperature up there. So, and I remember just going, it's like, it was almost when you turned the corner, I went, everybody in the thing went, wow.
Beautiful.
You know, that's what this reminds me of. So that's my goal if I ever do that peak hike again, I'd love to go back and document that wall because it's always there apparently. It's like a thing.
I find ferns are hard to care for.
Yeah.
I have a couple. There's one in here. There's two on the front porch. But they need misting. They need a certain kind of humidity to do well. My plants are okay. I mean, with more attention. I've had a couple of months of not being as attentive as they sometimes need, but they're hardy plants, all of them. And this one has some leaves. It's had some, it's been not getting or too much or not enough water. I'm gonna take a look at what's going on with this one. But when I get back, it'll be fine. It'll last until I get back.
And so my last three questions is, one, what is your favorite thing about doing this, gardening, plant rearing, that kind of thing?
My favorite thing is putting attention into a plant. There's one in the garage that was down to just a little vine. It was actually sick. It had some, it had a pest that had infested it. And I took time, I took care of it, got rid of the pest that was on it, and I tried natural methods, and then I had to resort to a pesticide. It worked, and it's just beautiful now. It's filled out, and it's a beautiful lime, neon green color, neon yellow colored leaf. Just healthy and lush and beautiful. So I like that, to seeing the results from your efforts. That's
Right.
one, putting in the time. And then also the space, the grounding and the connecting of the space to the earth, right? Which I've been having some nature in the home can be relaxing and calming and also beautifying, right?
Yes, for sure.
So all of those reasons, that's top of mind for me right now. But I also find the act of it calming and relaxing and also meditative. When I was watering the garden this morning, kind of in my head, I'm watering each plant, counting, to make sure it gets saturated. And it's very meditative and relaxing. My brain's not chattering, thinking about the thing I have to do next, or the thing that didn't go right, or the thing I need to figure out, or just enjoy garden, plant, nature, fresh air, sunlight.
And the most challenging thing about it?
Is the maintenance. When you have a lot of them,
Because this is a lot of them. I'm just realizing that, oh my God!
And when they're not
And there's
well.
another floor, people.
Most plants these days have organisms living in them, in the soil, and the plant may come from the store with it. And so, keeping that under control, watering a certain way, hosing down the leaves, wiping down the leaves, treating any, see I've got some yellow stickies in those ones.
Right, I saw that, yeah.
Some gnats, small gnats, and it's an issue in the soil, which I can get rid of, just needs attention.
Right.
So that takes time. I took all of my plants out in the last 2 weeks, outside, and hosed them all down. It's good and wiped the leaves. That took me 2 days, probably 4 or 5 hours. Listening to music, popping along, right?
Yeah.
Talking on the phone to people as I'm doing it. It's fine. It's not challenging, but keeping up with it is challenging.
Right. What was I thinking about? Do you name your plants at all? Do you any of those? You don't do any of that kind of naming.
I just know they're their genus or their common name, but I don't give them names.
Like Patricia, Janet, Kwame, Idil, nothing like that. Okay. And
No.
is there now, I mean, and I know this might be sensitive, but do you feel like this is in ways connects you to your mom in some way? Like, the fact that this was so her?
Part of this was her. I mean, the outside gardening was definitely her.
Right.
Inside, and she comes here, when she came last time she came here, she was like, this is insane. How could you keep up with this? What is wrong with you? Why do you have so many plants? Where do you sit? And then, of course, Isaiah and Jonathan are in the background going, oh. We're trying not to agree with her. So it's a lot. So she has, I'm going to go to her home, as I'm going to her home today. She has a handful of plants.
Right.
Right? So,
she would have what she thinks is a reasonable amount of plants to have in your home.
and she
right?
has there's 3 crotons that she has that are over 20 years old.
Wow.
And in the same pot, and beautiful. I'm actually going to give one to my neighbor. And she's like, oh, she and my mom are quite close. She's looking forward to receiving this plant from my mom's home, and mom's plant. She'll be always connected to her, right? And it'll live another however many years as long as she cares for it, right? So
don't give it to me; it will die.
and it's croton, this big, wide croton, beautiful. So yes, I feel connected to her more so when I'm outside in the garden and I'm thinking about, is this a weed? Is this a plant? How do I care for this? And but in the house as well, definitely. I definitely feel the connection to her and how important it was for her to, I think for her it was also beautifying, beautifying. And in some places it was sustenance, like when we were younger, she had strawberries and pears and fruit and vegetables. Rhubarb was big for her as well.
Right.
Berries, currants.
I remember her doing the
jam.
jarring of stuff. Yeah, when I was a kid,
jam.
getting strawberry preserves from her, which was just always amazing. That's still in my mouth, in the corner of my teeth, going. Yeah.
So the idea, I do herbs, which is as far as
I was going to ask you about
herbs.
Food consumption plants. If you ever do any of those kinds of
fresh herbs, and I put them on everything. My salads. I just finished finishing up a salad. I put them in the salads. I put them in the fishes and meats that I prepare, the soups, and love them. And so the herbs are in the summer, and I it's easy to bring them in. So I'm going to try this year. I've not done this before, but I'll bring them in and have them year round.
Yeah, but not into a bigger food gardening like, tomatoes and mint.
We had a friend give us a tomato plant one year, I once did a cucumber plant, some squash, some peppers. But you got to fight with the squirrels.
Right.
And then other bugs and stuff, and that's a little bit of work, right? So again, work. You
Yes.
don't want to do too much work,
Yeah.
although this is work in volume, but the intensity of fruit and vegetables I'm not up for yet. I might try it.
Ah, okay.
I might try it.
And Bermuda, the plants.
Jonathan has now become completely enamored with and enjoying plants. So when I go on Saturday, I'm going to see all the new plant babies that we have. He's bought quite a lot of vining. I had bought a few when I was there last, a few vining plants, but he has now filled out our porch. We have a couple of sun kind of porches with plants, and then in the house as well.
All right, so I'm going to end on the question is, so for anybody who might be watching this, or just generally because now you have me going, what would be your advice if somebody was thinking, oh, I want to start a garden, or just, especially in a house, in a building, if you want to start collecting plants, what would be your advice if you go to start?
Well, it depends on what kind of light you have. So that's the first thing, right? So depending on what kind of light you have, you want either a low light plant, a plant that can do well in low light conditions, or a plant that really will require light, lots of bright light, bright direct or indirect light. So I would just try to start with a plant that can deal with low to moderate light, and that would be a pothos.
Oh.
Which is a common plant. You can
which
get
is
in
which
corner
one?
Stores. That one over there.
Oh.
The pothos, which is
Right.
easy. There's different versions. There's some with variegated leaves. There's some that are green. There's a neon green one there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then that is the darker green, which is the more common variety. In Bermuda, these ones grow on the roadside, and the leaves are like this big, huge, just in the wild. But you can get those at a corner store or garden center, and those can do well. They need to be watered like every 2 weeks. I water them every week, but it can handle and withstand being watered every 2 weeks. And this plant is, oh my gosh, it's also, I think it's commonly known as a, something Lisa. It'll come to me the name of this one. But this one does well in low light as well. I wanted to say corn plant. Yes, it's called, common name is corn plant, but it's something Lisa is the version of it, and it does well. You see it sitting in this dark corner. There's another one in the corner over there. I've got a neon one over here, and it does well as well. I have to think, I'll look up the name. I've forgotten it.
Oh, I see this one in the thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does look like, I remember thinking of corn fields in Jamaica, going to break the corn out of one of these things. This is that type. It's not literally a corn plant, but it has that kind of look, similar leaf pattern is what it's looking like to me.
I'm going to tell you the name, just asking it is, asking my AI companion, Draccaena. Dracaena. Draccaena. And this is the Draccaena Lisa in the corner.
Right.
Yeah. So they're common. They're easy, medium to low indirect light, and they do well in situations. And then and this is another pothos. And then when you step up, like this is the Chinese. It's called the Chinese money plant. Those ones are fairly easy as well, but they tend to like bright indirect light.
Right.
But I would say starting off with a pothos, a vining plant. As long as it's not philodendrons, are a little more tricky, and they're in Canada. They're prone to having thrips, which is a pest. So they don't do well. They can easily struggle. But I would start with pothos or the Draccaena Lisa.
Fantastic.
That would be my recommendation.
And are there any sort of places to get plants that you'd recommend in the city in Toronto, or is there just tons? Is just enough?
Anywhere, right? You have to be careful. So you check your plants for pests, right? Look at the leaves. If the leaves look like they're struggling, if you see anything crawling on the plant, it's not always obvious, but if the leaves look like they're struggling, don't get it. But people I know do well with Canadian Tire, Home Depot, corner stores. I do like to go to a garden center because I find the quality is better.
Yeah.
And they've been treated and they've been sprayed, but most of these folks are buying them in bulk from nurseries as well anyways, and then selling them. But they're less prone to pests when you buy them from a garden center. So Valley View Farms, which is out in the northeast, and then there's a couple of other nurseries downtown and in the West End.
Okay, but garden centers you're saying are nurseries.
Depending on where you are in the world, right? Because you're watching this from wherever.
Yeah.
A garden center. But I'm also open to, like a corner store, a Home Depot, Canadian Tire. But just you got to check the plant.
Yeah, and you said anywhere in the world, and because you touch base in Jamaica, you touch base particularly in Bermuda now, key differences you notice or distinct things to be thinking of if you're in the tropics versus here or just in another
Well, these are all
island?
tropical plants that I brought indoors.
Oh, so it's all tropical plants.
These are mostly, these are all plants that are found in the tropics,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Indoors, that I have indoors, every one of them. And so the challenge is I can't recreate the environment that people have in the Caribbean. So in Bermuda, it's nice and humid, it's hot. The plants look different. They're lusher. They, this one is struggling. This one was struggling in the winter because of humidity and watering.
Right.
I think made of mist to watering, but also not enough humidity. So those leaves will eventually die, and new ones will come in. And I'm trying my best. So when you're in climates that are like North America, United States, that have you use forced air heat. It's drier in your home. At one point I had humidifiers in the house, and it was too much humidity. My windows were getting like sweaty and mold on them, right? It was too much. I was trying to support my plants, but that doesn't work. So it doesn't work for me, given what it was doing to the home. And so spritzing the plant, giving it moisture where you can, putting them in the shower, right? But in Bermuda, Jamaica, none of that's necessary because it's such high humidity.
Right,
and
right.
things do well.
Right, and you said predominantly the plants you have are tropical plants. Are there any plants for elsewhere in the world that you've ever had or thought of having in your home?
Well, otherwise, the plants we have in the garden, the annuals, right, or even the perennials, those are, bushes and grasses and those kinds of things. I think I have one grass on the porch that I do bring in inside. It's called a ligini. I don't know where it's from. It might actually be a tropical plant. I don't know. But yeah, people don't tend to bring in, because these plants need to, in North America, these plants need to go dormant. These perennials need to go dormant.
Right.
So it's not recommended you like dig them out, put them in a pot, bring them inside. They need to have their dormant stage in the winter.
Okay.
And their annuals that people use to beautify, those typically are tropicals, cheap tropicals people use to beautify. They die off in the winter and they just replace them in the spring. So the other thing is sometimes ferns are known to be less tropical. There are some versions that are North American, I believe, but otherwise everything people tend to have in their homes, I think, and somebody might update us online.
Right.
But everything people tend to have in their homes are tropical plants.
Wow. Well,
That's my lay understanding, common sense, lived experience understanding.
yes.
I've not studied horticulture.
Yes.
But
Yes.
maybe there's other perspectives.
Yeah, well, you've now made me, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, I've done Aunt Madeline, like extensively, multiple times.
Yes.
So now I've done you, and now I'm thinking, I should go do Annette.
Oh, yes.
And Marilyn, are you doing stuff? And then Devin, I know he's doing stuff in his garden in Oshawa as well. So hey, I might do a family series here.
I'd love that. I want to learn, see what families
Yeah.
doing, and even we can share. I can't bring plants across the border, but at least in Canada, I'm not supposed to. At least in Canada, we can share, right?
Yeah.
We can share.
Yeah, or just to hear, what other plants can I tap into that I can get here locally, right? Or in Canada that maybe I haven't explored yet.
I have enough plants. I'm not buying any more.
Yeah, more anymore. But just
Not buying
different
anymore.
kinds,
Just
maybe.
taking care of the ones I have will be what I focus on for now.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan and Isaiah will be happy to hear that when they watch this. No more. So I've actually been throwing away a few that were not thriving.
I
not
was
doing
wondering what the
well.
lifetime of plants do, because you said like the crotons were like 20-something years.
They do. They'll do well forever if you take care of them. But here, what we have is the challenge of when they're indoors, and what comes in the soils and on soil and on plants is pests.
Right.
Pests are the ones are the issue,
Right.
Or in lack of attention, lack of right attention, right? But mostly, what tends to be the demise of plants are pests: spider mites, thrips, and mealybugs are the three common, and scale, the four common ones. And I fight with 3 of the 4. It's awful.
Okay. And are you okay sharing this with the world?
Absolutely. Hope it helps. And I would say on Instagram, there's so many people who do this like as their like Instagram kind of side hustle or main hustle.
Yeah.
So much to learn on Instagram and YouTube.
And
That's why
TikTok, I imagine too. Probably. I don't
can
know you're a
imagine, I don't
TikToker,
know, but
yeah.
more so I use Instagram and YouTube and Reddit.
Also, you
Questions.
consult other places as well
Looking
to
to
get your...
see when I'm having an issue or a problem, or like right now it's a bit of maintenance of bringing plants in.
Right.
Trying to minimize my use of insecticides, using stronger natural methods for taking care of and dealing with pests as I bring things in, like those lovely plants on the porch. All of those are going to be coming in. I could leave them out there, but I think I want to bring them in. So all of that, I do consult Reddit, YouTube, Reddit and YouTube mostly.
Right.
And Instagram is more for like having sort of plant appreciation.
Do you know Plant Queen? Do you know
Yes,
that?
I love them. Love them. I love their.
Because I remember, I think you talked about them years ago when they first were doing their stuff, and you were enamored by them too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Plant Queen, and there's quite a few others too.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share. If people want to know, they can ask.
All right. You can say bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks for visiting. Thanks for the impromptu visit. And no warning, Doug.
And look at how she just on. No problem. All right.
Fun.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm just eating, and I cut some watermelon for you.